Okay, this is going to be my first video of the day. In case you guys don't know about this little piece of shit that has a punchable face, that is Larry Nassar, who was sentenced basically to life in prison because he's a pedophile, rapist piece of shit and a scumbag. So excuse my language, but I will say this. There's gonna be more profanity in this video because he pisses me off to no end by the look on his face. So if you got kids, get your little ones out of the room, little room, and you know, then I can wait and and just if you don't want them to hear what's about to come out of my mouth, put on some headphones. If you ain't got headphones, get your kids out the room. I'll wait. Okay, let me get started. So, as you see, for those of you who have been living on a rock, as you see the title right here, like right here, ex-gymnastics doctor Larry Nassar assaulted in prison. Court documents say, I got one word, good bitch. Now continuing. Disgraced former sports doctor Larry Nassar, well, he wasn't even a doctor because he didn't have a fucking license, but I'll continue, was assaulted by inmates at the Arizona Penitentiary, where he is serving a de facto life sentence after pleading guilty to sexual assault and child pornography charges, according to court documents. So Nassar was physically assaulted within hours after being released to general population at the United States Penitentiary in Tucson, Arizona, according to documents filed Tuesday by Nassar's attorneys in Ingham County Circuit Court. So Nassar's attorneys were asking that he be resentenced by a different judge in the first of the molestation cases he faced. Nassar, 54, who is serving a 60-year federal sentence for possessing child pornography. He was he was sentenced up to 175 years in state prison for molesting 7 girls, but it's more than that, you'll see. The news of Nassar's prison assault was first reported by the Detroit News, and there's a link, right? The blue highlighted of the Detroit News. You could just click and get more info. So Nassar's attorneys said in the court documents that they believe Judge Rosemary Acalina decided to impose the maximum sentence allowed before the sentence hearing even started. They point to her statements that she might let people do to Nassar what he admitted to doing to the young gymnast if the Constitution did not prohibit cruel and unusual punishment. Funny, but judging by this country's history, has a little bit of history doing cruel and unusual punishment to black people. But I digress. I'll talk about that later. So, in an interview with the Detroit News, Walt Shannon, the president of the American Federation of Government Employees, Local 3955, said fights occur in prison. The inmates watch our staffing level. So Shannon told the newspaper, if they are going to do something, it is going to happen when staffing is low. So Nassar has been accused of molesting 265 girls and women over 2 decades under the guise of medical treatment. Yeah, I told you it was more than just fucking 7, and but sadly wouldn't surprise me. Sadly, it's more than 265, and either way, that's still fucking bad. So, so you saw, and I will say this: I know there's someone out there that is happy as a clam to hear that this happened to Larry Nassar. You know, and trust me, he's gonna get more than just beatings in prison. You want to know who's happy to hear this? In case you haven't heard it, there's a guy by the name of Randall Graves. See here? You remember this? Some of you remember this video, this famous viral video of Randall Graves, the man in the dark blue sweater who almost beat the ever living shit out of Larry Nassar in court because his daughters, 3 of his daughters, were all victim to that piece of shit that's hiding in the corner, just hiding on the bottom right corner where it's kind of below the police officer's butt. Funny, yeah. So he was hiding and cowering like a little bitch that he is. So So yeah, and there he is another picture where he ran Mr. Randall Margraves. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing his name wrong. Standing there with his family and his three daughters. There you can see standing right behind him on the left side. On the left side, were all raped and molested by this piece of shit. This piece of shit. Yeah. And him being a father, it's gotta hurt. So, and he did what any parent would have done, you know. And I wish the popos let him beat his ass, let him have it. But you know what? Him hearing this kind of news, I said on that one, which I hope he did get the news, because not many newspeople talked about it. He's probably happy as a clam and like to shake hands with the inmates whoever beat the shit out of him. And Larry Nassar, you're gonna get more than just a fucking beating. I hope the next time I hear in the news you get the Dahmer treatment. If those of you who don't know the story of Jeffrey Dahmer, what happened to him in prison, before you got that treatment, I hope I hear on the news, in the words of Ha Davis, before you got the Dahmer treatment, that you ended up tooting that ass up. Sick bitch. Comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think.